Thank you to the Blue Bombers for lending us this amazing Canadian flag. Oh, Canada, this is our home and native land, and I think today all of us are patriots. And our team is here to reassure everyone in Manitoba and across the country that we will always be the true North, strong and free. I think a lot of people are thinking about who we are as Manitobans and as Canadians, and we know who we are. We're humble, hardworking people with a blue-collar work ethic. People who take pride in that great flag that is draped behind me, and people who don't go looking for trouble, but people who are also strong. And when a challenge comes our way, know that the way that we overcome difficult things is by working through them together. And so today we're sharing a message of unity here in Manitoba and a sense of resolve and commitment against what President Donald Trump is launching by way of an economic attack on this country that we love so much. We love this country so much because we are free in Canada, every single one of us, to be who we want to be. And our team and every single person across this province will always defend that and will always stand up for that. And the thing is, as humble and as friendly Manitoba as we all want to be, when a fight finds its way to us, we're a nation of hockey players. We know how to handle ourselves. And so we know that when it is time to have a good scrap, Canadians and Manitobans are ready. But our first and foremost responsibility is always to protect our children and our grandchildren and to protect our families. So the response that we're announcing here today has both that pushing back against this aggression from the United States of America, while also standing together, united to defend our families, our way of life, our jobs, and most importantly, our kids. Earlier today, we announced that we are bringing in tax deferrals to protect your jobs. These deferrals on provincially administered taxes like the health and education levy and the retail sales tax will mean that businesses can keep cash on hand to keep people working. These tax deferrals mean that people will have money in their businesses to protect your jobs and keep our economy moving through this period of uncertainty. And so that's about protecting our homes, protecting our families, protecting our way of life. At the same time, we know that we have to push back. And so on behalf of the province of Manitoba, we fully support the federal government's retaliation against the United States of America. And we're joining with other provinces across this country to pull American booze off of liquor mart shelves. Now here's the thing. The good news about this is that the Canadian booze is way better than the American stuff. And so this is one sacrifice that I think everybody from coast to coast to coast can get behind. And I want to mention today that in the coming days, if these tariffs persist, we will continue to roll out additional non-tariff countermeasures to stick up for Manitobans and to stick up for Canada. We all recently watched the Four Nations Cup, and what we saw from Team Canada there sent a very clear message to a lot of American hockey players. We don't start it, but we finish it. Just ask Matthew Tkachuk. And so on behalf of the people of Manitoba, people across Canada, we are standing together to respond to the tariffs that have been brought forward today. And we are here to protect our kids and protect our way of life. And the way that we'll get through this is, of course, by getting through it together. Et puis certainement, comme tout ce qu'on fait dans le Canada, on le fait dans une façon bilingue. Aujourd'hui, nous avons annoncé des appuis pour le monde d'affaires et puis aussi nous avons annulé la présence des produits américains dans les magasins d'alcool ici dans le Manitoba. Alors, sur les questions d'identité nationale, d'identité provinciale, nous sommes unis pour le Canada, pour le Manitoba et pour vous. So happy to take questions that folks in attendance may have.
discussed before include preventing U.S. companies from winning provincial contracts. Is that on the table, or is that one of the things you're still looking at?
Yeah, it's on the table. We're looking at it, and we're looking at it later this week. We'll have information to share in the coming days.
Why did wine stores, if they've been asked to remove their U.S. products from their shops, is that fair to ask them what other retailers selling American goods who already have stocks to remove their wine, and other businesses aren't being asked to likewise?
The great news about us stopping the sale of U.S. booze is that Canadian booze is way better. Crown Royal, great local breweries of all sorts. One of the things we're working on with the other provinces, and just got off a call with the Prime Minister and the other premiers, is that interprovincial trade and direct-to-consumer alcohol, so that our brewers and our distillers will be able to access those other markets. So if you want to go shopping for wine, buy a BC wine, buy a wine from Niagara. And if you want to have whiskey, don't buy bourbon, buy Crown. These are the choices that we can make. The economic choices that we all make are some of the most important decisions that we can all take in our lives. And right now, when we're all feeling this great sense of Canadian pride, when we're all resolving to stand up against this unjustified aggression from the United States President Donald Trump, we're sending that message that we are going to buy Canadian, buy Manitoban, and we're going to fight back by buying local. And so, yeah, we reached out and have had some conversations with private wine stores, and they told us, we'll pull it off the shelves because we're not going to be able to sell this stuff. And I think we're all seeing that take place in so many retailers, regardless of the sector right now. Manitobans are looking to spend money on Canadian companies and companies that treat Canada fairly.
Is the provincial wholesaler going to continue to supply private beer vendors with U.S. product?
No.
They're going to stop wholesale?
Yeah.
In terms of is cutting off hydro, the sale of hydro to other jurisdictions, or at least to America, is that an option?
Well, we're going to talk about hydro in the coming days.
Tell us about critical minerals. Ontario Premier Doug Ford is talking about electricity. He's talking about uranium now. He's going to have to go to nickel through there for his own province. Can you tell us about what you're thinking from this Manitoba perspective?
Well, we're very proud that we've brought a mine to the construction phase within 18 months of taking government. So we know that developing minerals for everybody who uses a cell phone, for everybody who uses a computer, who participates in our modern economy, critical minerals are part of what powers the economy of today and of tomorrow. And so we've got a great hand to play here as Manitoba and as Canada. When we're talking about nickel, we have a huge nickel mine in northern Manitoba, in Thompson. And our job is to stand up for those steel workers. Our role, when we're talking about steel tariffs affecting Selkirk, is standing up for those steel workers as well. So we're protecting jobs, and we're working with business and labor to ensure that your way of life will stay strong. When we're talking about what happens with those critical minerals, on the call earlier today, I shared an open invitation to my colleagues from the other provinces and territories. This summer, this shipping season out of Churchill, let's use this as a proof of concept to show how we can diversify, reaching international markets. We know that we're doubling the amount of critical minerals in this coming shipping season that'll come out of Churchill, but let's talk about ag products. Let's talk about other mining products. Let's talk about energy products. And let's be serious about Trump-proofing our Canadian economy, including accessing international markets through Tidewater in Churchill.
Monsieur Guinou, peut-être revenir en français
Ouais.
sur votre position pour l'électricité, pour les minéraux. Quelle est votre position par rapport à peut-être couper l'électricité et l'approvisionnement en minéraux par les États-Unis?
Mais les questions et l'enjeu de l'électricité avec Hydro, on parlera de ça cette semaine, dans quelques jours. Mais il y a beaucoup de choses que le Canada pourrait faire avec les mines, avec les autres produits, pour accéder des autres pays tout partout dans le monde. Alors pour nous, avec Churchill et puis des autres opportunités, nous sommes là pour promouvoir des autres opportunités économiques pour la province du Manitoba et puis certainement pour regarder à la relation avec les États-Unis en même temps.
Et peut-être revenir sur votre relation avec le gouvernement fédéral et les autres provinces. What's your strategy, what's your approach with other provinces in Canada?
Ben, tout le monde dans l'anglais ou français? En français. OK, alors, tout le monde est un Canadien ou Canadienne, premièrement, aujourd'hui. C'est tous mes collègues en tant que Premier ministre du Manitoba ou quoi que ce soit, les autres provinces ou territoires. Nous sommes tous là pour le gouvernement fédéral et pour les peuples dans chaque province et chaque région de ce pays. Alors, oui, nous sommes d'accord. Je pense que demain, nous annoncera des détails sur des ententes au niveau d'échanges libres parmi les provinces et territoires. Il y a des autres choses que nous faisons ensemble, comme aujourd'hui, les produits d'alcool étaient coordonnés avec les autres provinces. Et alors, il y a beaucoup de choses que nous pourrons faire comme un pays uni. Et ça, c'est la façon que le Canada pourrait être capable de lutter contre ce grand défi lancé par M. Trump.
Merci.
Ouais. Sorry, Tamer. Yeah.
Can you tell us if you support dollar for dollar tariffs? Today, Dublin is telling us the world, and Saskatchewan is telling us two different approaches of this. The Team Canada approach seems to have a crater in there. Can you tell us a little bit about that from your perspective? Do you support a dollar for dollar tariff here for the U.S.?
Yeah, we support what the federal government is rolling out for retaliation today, and we're locking arms with the other premiers across the other provinces to remove alcohol from the shelves and to take other non-tariff retaliation measures. We got to stick up for ourselves as Canadians and to push back against this aggression from Donald Trump. And so when we're talking to the other premiers, I know that they're